Maggie Price is the co-founder, former editor, and current contributor to the Pastel Journal, writing articles for this and other publications. Maggie has formerly studied fine arts and has attended many workshops with well-known artists. She currently conducts pastel workshops of her own in the U.S. and abroad. Maggie is an active member in numerous art societies and is the president of the International Association of Pastel Societies. You can learn more about her work at maggiepriceart.com. In this video workshop, Maggie shows you how to use photo references to create paintings that go beyond copying for lively, lifelike results.
Sometimes in a painting like at this stage, you can get a little confused as to where to go next. If you get confused, sometimes it's helpful to just move back to the distance and try to firm up your farthest distant points a little bit more and then begin working forward. So with that thought in mind, I'm going to try to clarify what's happening back here. I don't want this to become too important. It's part of the painting, needs to be there, but what I want you to feel is sort of random foliage. There's trees and stuff. I don't need to tell you what kind of trees or the difference between a certain tree and a bush. I just want you to have the feeling that there's a bunch of foliage back here and that this is a riverbank. So keep it pretty loose, keep it distant. You can see that this rough surface is helping me build this texture that I want back here. Not defined grasses, but the texture that implies them. In the early stages of the painting, I worked very much with the side of the whole flat side of the pastel. Now I'm using this part right here, and it'll flatten out as I use it. This is a fairly new stick, so it's not flat yet. Now this is still not my lightest light. It's from the next to the lightest section. I just wanted a little touch of that. So a few little light touches in here with the side of this pastel are just going to help me make that look a little more like foliage. And I don't want to get too distinct with that yet. That would be finishing touches, and I want to save those, but at the same time, it's at a point where I need to know where I'm going. The other thing I think I need to know is just exactly where does the water meet those grasses. So I just give myself a little hint of that now. And that's probably enough for now, and I can just move on to another area that needs to be cleaned up. Here, moving into a lighter middle green, I want a little warmer green. I really want to catch this band of light that comes down from this side, illuminates all these little grasses. It's very beautiful, and it's one of the things that caught my eye, is the way the light moved down across these grasses and down to the water. And I'm using the side of my pastel, but I might catch a few little vertical strokes here, but I don't want to get into finishing detail yet. I'm still just exploring the color and beginning to bring this together. As we come over here, there's less and less of the bright green because the plants are shadowing this edge. And a few little random spots here are going to start to imply leaves. When I'm painting foliage, I try not to think about leaves. The minute you start thinking about leaves, you're going to start making little tiny, picky little spots and shapes and trying to connect things to branches. Instead, I think about masses of color, value, and keeping little quick random strokes that in the end hopefully will imply leaves. And I think they will. I don't want that to just end abruptly there. The way light comes through these sorts of grasses is it will hit here and there on an edge, maybe even in an unexpected place. So I don't want a hard edge shadow. Here I've got a little bit of light catching some foliage right down here, so it can catch here as well. Again, I want to imply more than I describe. The more you can imply and leave it to your viewer to sort of fill in the blanks as it is, the more pleasing the painting is. It gets the viewer involved in the subject, and people like to imagine what's there. They don't need to be told every single thing. This is a purple, again in the middle value, just bringing a few of those in, letting some of those darks from the underpainting just stay right where they were, and beginning to imply some tall grasses. If I feel that it's gotten too much detail here and there, just soften it with a few taps.